shortly after Art's accident, actually I'd been, when his accident happened, I had been back in Texas because my grandfather had died. So then I came back. I'm going to read a little bit about that. I've returned from my grandfather's funeral. Once again, I'm sitting in my cozy Aspen home, gazing out the window and listening to music. My thoughts drift to the man who lost his family in Glenwood Canyon while I was gone. His name is Art. People who know him, whom I work with at the chart house, are still shaken by the accident. I think that my aloneness is nothing compared to his. I begin praying for him. I don't know why, really, only that I hoped someone was praying for me when my brother died. As the music plays, an idea comes to me. I begin to make a tape of songs for this man to help him grieve to. I pull out all of my tapes and CDs and spread them on the floor. I remember lyrics to certain songs, and I pick ones that will touch his pain, allow him to feel it and heal. Each song I copy speaks to me, telling me it is the one. Hours go by. I cry for him, allowing my own pain to surface. While I'm finishing the tape, I find myself talking to God, asking him to give me some of this man's pain. Around the age of 7 or 8, as I listened to conversations taking place around me, I would know what someone was going to say before they said it. I would know where they had been that day or what they had done before they revealed it in the next comment. Sometimes I would get a physical feeling of good or bad news that was coming. I would find my stomach hurting when bad news was coming, or feel unusually happy, even cry when something good was going to happen. When I realized that other kids my age didn't have these same experiences, I began to push away the premonitions, wondering if it was wrong to know things. Maybe I was a little crazy. Now I realize that this intuitive part of me is awakening. Perhaps reaching out to another soul in pain will somehow ease my own pain, bring Rod closer in some way. I don't know, but this time I don't fight my instinct. Rather, I listen to it, deciding to trust myself for once. As I start writing the letter, the words flow easily. Dear Art, you don't know me personally, or I you, but I have grieved with you over your wife and 2 sons. I can't imagine the pain you feel. There are no words to describe or words to say. I understand and have been through some pain myself. I had a brother who committed suicide. I got the call and had to tell my family. I've been through a divorce and have had a lot of loss. It is so hard. Some days are harder than others. You must know that. My heart is broken for you. I remember the deep aloneness I felt and emptiness. No matter how strong I tried to be, the pain was great. I have felt that for you. I asked God to give me some of your pain to bear so that you could have easier days in your healing. I've made this tape of songs for you to cry to smile to relate to, whatever. Music really helped me and still does. Maybe it will help you. Maybe not. I hope you enjoy it anyway for whatever purpose. There's no reason for you to respond. I just want to reach out to you to support you and to let you know you're being thought of. I saw you the other day at the Aspen Club. I'm always listening to music. Take care, a friend. So where the intuitive part begins to come in is that the tape of songs that I made him ended up being his wife Kathy's favorite songs. So it's,
You know, I received hundreds and hundreds of letters after the accident from people I knew, and some from people I didn't know at all. This was the only letter I received that was unsigned. It was just anonymous. And it's the only letter that I responded to. It's not something that anyone expects you to do, to write back a situation like this. But this letter touched me and warmed me in unusual ways. I didn't know who had written it. I knew a woman had written it, but that's all there was. But the post office had required her to put a box number on the outside of the envelope. And thank God for federal legal requirements. As Allison puts it, that's in case of bombs. And I wrote back to this box number saying, you know, I'd just like to meet the person who could write me such an amazingly touching letter. And a week or 10 days later, she called and said, "I'm Allison. I'm a friend that wrote you that letter." And so it all began. We met one evening and had cheeseburgers together and shared. I shared the beginnings of our stories. She listened to all about my wife and my boys that I just lost. And I learned a lot about Rod. And we just gradually found we had more and more common ground. And I'd like to read another piece about my boys' classmates. During the week following the service, I called the grade school and I asked Tanner and Shay's teachers if it would be helpful to the boys' classmates if I came by to see them. They welcomed the idea, so I scheduled an hour with each group. The night before visiting Shay's first grade class, I sit in the boys' room wondering if there are any things of Shay's that I can take to his friends. Suddenly I notice his beloved collection of small furry animals, and I put most of them in a plastic bag to take to the school, keeping a couple of his favorites at home. I let each of his classmates choose an animal, saying it is Shay's gift, and they clutch them to their breasts with soft eyes. We sit on the floor together, one or two always in my lap, and we talk about many things. They feel my sorrow. They would change it if they could. They are sweet beings, and I'm glad I have come. Years have since gone by, and these children are growing up, but their parents tell me that their sons and daughters still cherish the little stuffed toys that belong to their friend, Shay. I am less easy about visiting Tanner's 5th grade class. These kids are more worldly, more articulate, and they understand better what has happened. I have nothing of Tanner's to take to them, so I just show up, and we arrange ourselves in a big circle on the floor. Some of Tanner's closest boy buddies are in this group, as are 2 girls that he liked a lot. They have thought about the accident, they've tried to imagine it, but they weren't there, and they are haunted by what they don't know. The teacher asks me if it would be all right if each child asks me a question. With some trepidation, I say, I would like that. The questions are piercing. What did Tanner look like? Was he bleeding? Was he awake? In pain? Crying? How did he die? Could you have avoided the boulder? I answer each child as directly and truthfully as I can. Tears in my eyes, holding their hands. They need to know. These children, too, want to be close to me, to touch me. Their young spirits are stronger than mine. They are comfortable being close to the pain. Maybe I have softened some of their fears. I know they have helped me with my own.